¿Qué fue lo que decía esta joven al momento que estaba protagonizando este escándalo en plena vía pública?
Adelante.
Quería mi libertad. Monterrey me libertó, pero con mucho trabajo. Duró 1 año y 4 meses en la Ciudad de México. Todo esto empezó a mediados de 2001, porque así no recuerdo. No por erotas, sino por gente. Las mataron. También como iban tocando puerta por puerta. Yo lo que quería era mi libertad. Quiero mi libertad. ¿Quién sabía todo esto? Era Carlos Slim, lo único. Quiero mi libertad. Estoy en el alma. Me va a doler en el alma que me lo hayan quitado. Déjenme en paz, porque me llevaron al Ministerio Público y ahí me dijeron que no sabían nada. Me llevaron al hospital general. ¡Tú! Ahí estabas en la comisaría. Vayan por el hijo de por eso mataron a Mourino, a la gente. Me dijeron, ¿a quién mataron? A la reina de Escocia, a la reina de Inglaterra, a las princesas y no Disneylandia. Mataron a Mickey Mouse, también por ese también por ese ¿qué? Aquí va a venir mi madre. Tú donde estás están locos. Mataron a mucha gente. Hueles a carne de humano. ¡Lárgate! ¡Comieron humanos! ¡Asquerosidad! ¡Comieron humanos! Yo no estaba enterada de nada. Que había, o sea, los asesinatos sí, pero que habían comido humanos. ¡Humanos! Huelen la carne humana. Me llevan. A mí no me llevan hasta que eso nos aclare. A mí no me llevan. Ustedes me estuvieron ahí. Fueron a sacar una copia para que me intentaran. No, suéltame. Te voy a ayudar. Suéltame. Suéltame.
Luis, esta es la triste realidad de la joven Gabriela Rico Jiménez, quien, como observamos en momentos, intentó también agredir al elemento policíaco que logró someterla esta madrugada. Es por eso que, bueno, vamos a buscar la versión de las autoridades del por qué uno está...
On the morning of August 4th, 2009, television viewers in the Mexican city of Monterrey Nuevo León, or more commonly known as just Monterrey, were shocked and puzzled by a segment on the local news about an event from the previous night that took place outside of an upscale Monterrey hotel called the Fiesta Inn. The news clip shows a very distraught young woman who was tall and thin and wearing a ripped t-shirt. The woman was ranting and walking around erratically. Some passersby took the video that made it on the local morning news. As the woman continued to rave and the camera zoomed in closer, so did the attention of the public that was watching and listening to the bizarre scene. And still, now, to this day, 15 years after originally airing on Mexican television, speculation still exists as to who was Gabriela Rico Jimenez. In the bizarre clip that was originally aired on a television morning news segment, we are first introduced to the scene unfolding, where we will later come to meet the distraught woman as Gabriela Rico Jimenez, a young, thin girl who wide speculation from the public about the case would state was a prominent Mexican fashion model, outside of what seems to be the lobby of a hotel, yelling and visibly distressed. As we watch, we also start to listen to what she is saying, paying close attention to what seems to be jumbled yelling and raving, the result of an obviously troubled person. But as watchers that day, and internet conspiracy theorists would since, people have speculated to whether this person was a genuine survivor and was witnessed and victimized by some of the world's most influential people, being caught up in a twisted and dark underworld. In the clip in which she's speaking Spanish, it translates into, I quote, I wanted my freedom. Monterrey freed me, but it cost me a lot of work. I was in Mexico City for a year and 4 months. All of this began in mid-2001. I barely remember. They were young and powerful, and they killed them. I've been knocking on doors. What I wanted was my freedom. I want my freedom. Carlos Slim knew about this. I want my freedom. It hurts my soul that they took them away." End quote. This is the point where Gabriela starts to name characters and individuals into her rant, mentioning a man named Carlos Slim. Who is Carlos Slim? A Mexican business magnate, investor, and philanthropist, born the 28th of January, 1940. From 2010 to 2013, Slim was ranked the world's richest person by Forbes magazine. He derived his fortune from extensive holdings in a considerable number of Mexican companies through his group, Grupo Caso. As of December 2023, the Bloomberg Billionaire Index ranked him as the 11th richest person in the world, with a net worth of over $105 billion, making him the richest person in Latin America. Just for context, as Gabriela continues on, as the police begin to arrive, she says, and I quote, "Leave me alone. They've already taken me to the police station, and there they told me that they knew nothing. They took me to General Hospital. They took me to the General Hospital." The woman then pointed at an officer as she continued yelling, saying, You were there. Get the expletive away. You killed Mourino. They told me who they killed. The Queen of England, the Queen of Germany. Did they kill the princesses? And Mickey Mouse? It was also him. What? As the police approached closer to her, she said, and I quote, "Nothing is going to come here. The people where you come from are crazy. They killed a lot of people. Death to that kind of human. Go away. They ate at humans. They ate humans. Disgusting. I wasn't aware of anything, of the murders. Yes, but they ate humans. Humans. They smell like human flesh." And I quote. As Gabriela moves away from the first two officers, a female officer then arrives on the scene and is able to apprehend the girl. As she is grabbed, she says the following, and I quote, "You're not going to take me until this is clarified. You already took me there. Let me go." And as she is forced away, the young woman was shoved into the back of a police vehicle, and this is where we first hear the name from the newscast as Gabriela Rico Jimenez, with the newscaster mentioning her by her name as they took her away. Again, with common internet and conspiracy lore saying to never be seen again or heard from, wiped away. And as we continue to dissect the clip and what was said, another individual is mentioned, who the internet deemed of great importance. Juan Camilo Mourino Terrazo, or speculation would suggest is the Mourino Gabriela had mentioned, was a Mexican politician affiliated with the National Action Party, or PAN, and served as the Secretary of the Interior in the cabinet of President Felipe Calderón. He died in November 2008 when the small private plane he was traveling in crashed into busy rush hour traffic in Mexico City under very mysterious circumstances. There were 16 fatalities in this supposed accident. All 9 people on board the plane died, along with 7 people on the ground. Juan Camilo Mourino was only 37 years old. As President Felipe Calderón's strongman, Secretary Mourino had been leading a government campaign against Mexico's powerful drug cartels. Did Gabriela know something of importance about this mysterious death? At the time, many in the public, and many to this day, suspected the circumstances surrounding his death and the conditions of the jet, with many speculations of foul play or tampering. Rumors would be quelled when a report would emerge stating that the 2 black boxes found from the accident had been sent to the United States to determine the causes of the plane crash. In November 2009, the Mexican government announced that the main cause of the crash was turbulence encountered because of the pilot's failure to slow down in time, approaching too close to the wake turbulence of a 767. And although officials' answer seemed satisfactory, for the majority of the public, many still wouldn't believe the official narrative. Back to Gabriela, you can now see how the seemingly odd, random clip now seems to get more bizarre and interesting. Who was this girl? Did she really know these people? How did she know them? Could this mad raving actually have some merit? Could this be true? This is where the internet took over. All we were given is this 3-minute clip with no real backstory. So rumors began to arise, with the first and most prominent mention being that Gabriela was a well-known Mexican supermodel, even appearing on runway shows in LA, New York, and Mexico City. One widely believed rumor went as far as saying that she even posed for the cover of Mexico's Cosmopolitan magazine, with people saying they remembered seeing it vividly. Next was the rumors that Gabriela was involved intimately or personally with one of Carlos Slim's son, Carlos Slim Domit, referencing back to her rant where she mentioned the senior Slim. And lastly, that after being put into that back of the police vehicle, this would be the last you ever heard of Gabriela Rico Jimenez. To all three of those widely believed narratives and theories, no evidence can be found to support any, with the first being no evidence to this day has ever came out and proved that a model named Gabriela Rico Jimenez ever existed. No magazine cover and archive, no runway footage or images, nothing. So how could it be that so many people can say they vividly remember seeing such cover or work of hers, but yet to exist? This is when conspiracy begins pushing the bounds, saying that all prior information and documentation of her modeling career must have been scrubbed off the internet. And coming from me personally, is there a potential possibility that some technology or some world power out there has the resources and expertise to completely wipe your existence off the earth and internet? Maybe. And even though she's mentioning literally the richest man in the world in Carlos Slim, it's highly unlikely that this theory is the case. But nevertheless, the next theory being that she was romantically involved with Carlos Slim Domit, or Carlos Slim's son. There is no evidence besides internet rumors and theories that suggest the following. No image or proof has ever been corroborated. And lastly, stating the following on the widely believed angle that we would never hear from Gabriela again. After being taken into police custody, all mention and sight of her being erased forever. With online rumors adding gasoline to the fire, within a few weeks after Gabriela's disappearance, a statement appeared on the internet from someone claiming to have seen the supermodel at a local police station. The man, who was a lawyer visiting a client at the time, had this to say. Translated from Spanish, it reads, and I quote, "At that time, I was in the same place where the girl was taken after being arrested. I was doing my practice in that place. I have a law degree. I still remember her face, full of despair, fear, and anguish. Being in front of her, I felt from her a very heavy and strange feeling. I approached her and asked her some questions, if she knew where she lived, etc. She told me that we were already dead, that we all were, that we belonged to them, among other very strange things that simply left me paralyzed. After 20 minutes of being with her, some tall, well-dressed men arrived. They practically forced me out of there. I asked why they were doing all this if she was just a poor girl with a mental disorder. I asked where they were taking her. They told me it was none of my business, that it was for my own good to leave her alone. When I walked away, they stopped me and asked me what she had told me. I replied, just crazy things, and I ran away. The next day I went to the high officials of the ministry and told them about the subject, and that I wanted information because this girl's family had requested it. They just laughed at me and said, "Really? She doesn't exist. She never existed, and you don't work here." And I got a chill down my spine and left. I left everything. I left Monterrey. I had a feeling that what happened those days and what that girl said was true. I left everything and got out of there. She told me that in Monterrey there is a kind of underground base where they live and regularly steal children for food and other things. Due to my profession, I do not dare to reveal my encounter. I have a family and children who depend on me, and for logical and reputational reasons, I can't. I'd like to go out and spread it to the four winds, but society would label me as crazy. Even though I had the marks of the attack, my back is still sore. There are nights where I just can't sleep. I have the same feeling, that feeling when I saw it for the first time. It's like a premonition. I appreciate you don't judge me for telling you that, and only I, those who were with me and at the time, know what happened. Those are monsters. At least the ones who attacked me was a monster. If he found me alone, he would have killed me. Is this anonymous internet source legitimate? Again, besides hearsay or rumors, no real evidence can be found to verify the account, or what really had happened to Gabriela after being detained by police. Many believe she was placed into a psychiatric ward in the Buenos Aires neighborhood of Monterrey before fully disappearing. Again, no evidence can be found to support or disprove the information. A lot of great investigative work and information has come out in the years following, lending weight to the fact that this case might not be as crazy as and wide-reaching as originally speculated, but the ranting and raving of just a troubled girl who needed help and happened to mention the names of some prominent and public political figures of the time. And guys, that about wraps up the story of who was Gabriela Rico Jimenez. And basically, to sum it up, we still don't know who Gabriela Rico Jimenez is. A lot of great investigative work has been done on this case because typically the case with internet lore and these type of stories. And all evidence points to the fact that there was no prominent model named Gabriela Rico Jimenez, that there was no connection to these people, and it was just a troubled girl that needed help and was in distress at the time, and it just happened to be caught on video. But guys, very interesting nonetheless, just the different angles that it takes you down, different rabbit holes. And like I said, a lot of previous work was done on this, from the multiple articles that I had read to the great video I had saw from a channel named Scare Theater, basically going over different facets of the story and debunking whether it's true or not. And guys, again, with these type of videos and these type of internet lore stories, it's very hard to discern fact from fiction. So a great video again from Scare Theater. I'll put a link in the description if you want to go over facts of the case. Very interesting nonetheless, guys. The different rabbit holes you go down in this one. And again, guys, if you listened all the way to the end, a big thank you. I appreciate all support. A like, a comment means a lot, whatever it may be. And again, I took kind of a small break from the first 4 videos till now. I appreciate everyone that has stuck around. It means a lot. I have a couple more cases that I want to keep doing. I enjoyed making this one, so the next ones hopefully will be even better. Thanks again. Have a happy 2024, and take it easy.